Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle Seahawks fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been keeping an eye on the NFL buzz, you know that the Seahawks are always looking for ways to build a stronger, more dominant team. And right now, there's a heavy rumor in the wind that could shake things up in a major way. Word is, Seattle is in serious talks to acquire Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a game changer, no doubt. Think about it. A proven powerhouse interior disruptor, someone who could instantly elevate our defense and make a statement to the entire league that the Seahawks are back in the hunt for Super Bowl glory. The talks reportedly involve a first-round pick in 2027 and a third-round pick in 2028. Those are significant assets, but when you're talking about a player of Jones's caliber, it's a move that could pay off big time. The Chiefs, on their end, are looking for cap relief. They're still licking their wounds after a 10-7 season that ended prematurely in the playoffs, and they're facing some tough decisions. They've been dealing with a tight cap situation, especially after the Kels retirement and Mahomes extending his contract. Plus, their defense, which was supposed to be a pillar, finished the season ranked around 15th in EPA per play, and their pass rush was inconsistent at best. Jones, at 31, is still an absolute force. Since entering the league in 2016, he's amassed 86 sacks, forced 14 fumbles, and has maintained a PFF grade of over 92, which is elite. His 2025 stats are impressive. 5 sacks, 42 pressures, and an EPA per rush of -0.24, ranking him among the top interior defensive tackles in the league. He's a guy who can generate constant pressure from the inside, disrupting the pocket and shutting down runs with remarkable effectiveness. I mean, watch his game tape. He's like a black hole in the middle of the line, constantly collapsing the pocket, forcing quarterbacks into hurried throws and creating chaos for opposing offenses. His run defense is especially noteworthy, with a run-stop percentage of 38.2%, and he's double-teamed about a third of the time, which only speaks to how much respect offenses have for his game. The Seahawks, on the other hand, are sitting pretty with around $25 million in cap space, and the addition of Jones would be a perfect fit for what Coach Pete Carroll and defensive coordinator Clint Hurt want to do. Our scheme relies heavily on interior disruption. Think of it like the Fletcher Cox trade back in 2012 that transformed the Eagles' front seven and helped them become a force against the run. With Jones, Byron Murphy II already making waves with a solid PFF grade of 82, 4 and roughly 0, 6 sacks per game last season. Adding a player of Jones's caliber would turn our defense into a fortress. Now, imagine this. With Jones lining up inside, our pass rush would become even more lethal. Mafe and Williams would benefit hugely from the extra pressure, and the whole front seven would be amplified. Think about the potential. Jones's ability to generate pressure from the interior would open up opportunities for edge rushers to get after the quarterback, creating a domino effect of disruption. Plus, with the Seahawks, focus on stopping the run, something that hurt us last season. Adding Jones could drastically improve those numbers. Last year, we allowed about 112 rushing yards per game, which isn't terrible, but with Jones in the fold, that number could easily drop by 25% or more, putting us among the top defenses against the run. The impact on our overall team performance would be huge. When you look at Jones's stats in 2025, his 10-5 sacks, 18 QB hits, and a run-stop percentage of over 38%, it's clear that he's a disruptive force. He's a game winner, a guy who can change the course of a game with a single play. His ability to generate pressure and stop the run simultaneously makes him a perfect fit for the Seahawks' defensive philosophy. And let's not forget, he's a player who's used to performing under pressure. His 22% pass rush win rate leads the league among interior linemen, according to next-gen stats. That kind of consistency and dominance is exactly what Seattle needs to take that next step toward contending for a Super Bowl. And speaking of the Super Bowl, the odds for the Seahawks to win would definitely see a bump if this trade goes through. Currently, their odds are around plus 13-0, but with Jones in the mix, Some simulations from The Athletic suggest those odds could improve all the way to +4,800. That's a huge jump, and it reflects the added firepower and defensive stability he'd bring. Not to mention Jones's high-stakes experience. 77% QB hits in critical moments make him a potential X-factor in the red zone, where games are often decided. His presence would make our defense not just better, but terrifying for any offense trying to move the ball against us, especially in high-pressure situations. Now, why would the Chiefs consider trading him? Well, after a tough season and some roster adjustments, they're looking to rebuild their secondary and youth up front. Their offense is set with Mahomes and Kels, but their defense needs a facelift. They're looking at a cap situation that's tight after signing Mahomes and losing Kels, and they're trying to balance their roster. Moving Jones would free up significant cap space, about $12 million, and give them some draft capital to develop young players, especially on the offensive line and secondary, where their numbers allowed a 64% completion rate in 2025. That's a lot of points to fix, and adding draft picks makes sense for a team in transition. For the Seahawks, acquiring Jones is a strategic move that could solidify their front seven for years to come. Think about it. Adding a disruptive interior force like Jones would put us in the same conversation as the best defenses in the league. It would give us that elite interior pass rush that can collapse the pocket, stop the run cold, and set the tone for our entire defense. Imagine Mafe and Williams working from the edges, with Jones in the middle causing chaos. Opposing offenses would have no choice but to alter their game plans. It's the kind of move that signals a clear intent. Seattle isn't just trying to compete, they're aiming to dominate. And this isn't just about this season. The long-term implications are just as exciting. With Jones anchoring our interior, we could see a defense that's not only top-tier this year, but remains a problem for offenses for years to come. His presence would also help us keep our other young players, like our linebackers and safeties, free to make plays, knowing the middle is solid. Plus, a defense like that boosts the confidence of our entire team, from the front to the back end, and gives our offense a better chance to control the clock and keep our opponents at bay. In terms of team-building philosophy, this move makes a ton of sense. The Seahawks have always been about building through the front, whether it's the running game or the pass rush, and adding a player like Chris Jones would be a natural extension of that. It's about creating a dominant, disruptive front that can dictate the pace of the game, force turnovers, and set up our offense with short fields and scoring opportunities. With Jones in the middle, we'd be looking at a team that can control games from the inside out, a hallmark of successful championship defenses. So yeah, the buzz is real. The Seahawks are in the thick of it, trying to make a splash that could define their season and maybe even their future. The potential trade for Chris Jones is not just a rumor. It's a strategic move that could reshape the NFC West and put Seattle right back in the conversation for Super Bowl contention. If this deal happens, it would send shockwaves through the league. The Seahawks would be sending a clear message. We're here to contend, and we're not afraid to make bold moves to get there. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now to wrap this all up, the potential acquisition of Chris Jones by the Seahawks isn't just another offseason rumor. It's a bold statement of intent. For fans, it's exciting to think about the impact he could have. Imagine that interior disruption, the pressure on quarterbacks, the collapse of running lanes, and the confidence boost for our entire team. Seattle has always been about resilience, grit, and making the most of every opportunity, and this move could be the next step in that legacy. The defense would be transformed, the front seven would be a nightmare for offenses to deal with, and the Seahawks could finally punch their ticket back to the top tier of NFL contenders. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Do you think this trade will happen? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing Jones in the blue and green? Let us know. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seahawks news. We're in this together and the best is yet to come. Go Seahawks!